I'm a poor boy come far from me own native land. From dear Mother Ireland I'm forever banned. 'Tis a story I'll tell you and swear that it's true. 'Tis a sad tale of love and the harm it can do. Her name it was Mora, and red was her hair. Of her beauty 'twas said no one else could compare. I loved her from when I first saw her face, a vision so lovely, a sight full of grace. We pledged that our love would last through all time, but fate came and laid all our plans far behind. One day while she walked through a field near our own, on a path filled with flowers she often would roam, young English soldier, no more than a boy, forced his way in between us and all of our joy. His lust and his pride changed our lives in a flash. All our hopes and our dreams his vile act did dash. Later that day she died in me arms, begging me only I'd do no more harm. Though I told her the rest of my life I would save, I knew in me heart how to deal with that knave. I found him next day and he looked so surprised. As he died there was fear in his questioning eyes. For my crime there was soon a great price on me head. So from my green Ireland I hurriedly fled. A ship left the shores of sweet Bantry Bay and landed me here in America. It's here that I'll live the rest of my days, far away from my home and my true love's bright gaze. But don't cry for me, nay, don't shed a tear, for I found a new home, free from evil and fear. To the great Rocky Mountains me life is now joined, because of that soldier and the love he purloined. I'll love them forever till me heart beats no more. My Mora and Ireland and sweet days of yore. So when I am dead and I'm gone from this earth, take me bones back to Ireland, the land of my birth. Hi, I'm Tom Meehan. I'm a retired school teacher from here in St. Joseph. I play primarily Irish folk music. Been doing it for about 25 years now. I started playing at school for some of the other classes. I started then at some of the local civic groups, Chamber of Commerce, that kind of thing. And then I started to play for libraries, a lot of nursing homes and things like that, churches, schools, different kinds of, a lot of older people have an interest in this kind of music, and so that's what I was trying to get across to people, is that there's way more to St. Patrick's Day than just the Kiss Me I'm Irish and the green beer. There's way more to it when you get into the history and culture of it. In my family, we have lots of singers. My grandfather was a singing waiter at a nightclub in New York back in the 30s and 40s. And so we grew up with a lot of this music in our house, especially around holidays and things like that. And in fact, I was in a band. I sang in a band in high school way back in the mid-60s. And then I kind of got away from music, and I always liked it, but I had never played any kind of an instrument. And I finally had a friend of mine about 25, 30 years ago, got tired of watching me play air guitar on pool stick, and said, I'm going to show you a little bit. And he was a pretty good musician, and he brought me out and he strung one of his old guitars back because I'm left-handed. So he had me do that, and he showed me a couple of chords, and then we got that down. And I'd come back another week later, and he'd show me another chord, and after a while, I could at least stumble through some. Oh, I always started out with folk music and older country music, that kind of stuff, because of the chord structure was very simple. And that's basically what I've stuck with. Most of my music, has very basic chords in it. I don't adjust keys or anything like that. I just try and sing it however I hear it or however it's displayed to me. It's just something that has kind of evolved, and one of the main forces in getting me to performing is I wanted to share this with my grandkids. At this point, we have 15 grandkids, and they all know that sometime around St. Patrick's Day, Grandpa's going to come to the school, or we're going to do something, or I'm going to take them with me. And so I hope that as they get a little bit older, that maybe they'll play with me. Right now, they're mostly expert critics. They know when I screw up a song, they know when I forget a word or sing the verses out of sequence, and they're all experts, and all I have to do to shut them up is point the microphone in their way, and then they have nothing to say. But I have a couple of them that I've actually got them to sing a couple of times at their schools and things like that, so I'm actually hoping that someday that'll happen. And that's really the main thing, is just passing the music along to another generation. I think that, unfortunately, the way things are in education right now, everything seems to be test-driven and budget-driven. And so a lot of things like music and the art, and even to some extent the PE programs for just the regular kids, not for the athletes. There's always going to be that kind of money for the kids that are going to play sports. But, there's so many different kinds of kids that, when I was in high school, sports was what really appealed to me. I did dabble, with music and things like that. And as a teacher, I've seen, that you have to have something for everybody, not just the mainstream kids. And sometimes music is the thing that really gets into a person's heart and their soul and their head. It really can carry them through. For me, music is just sort of a hobby. I can tell you that hours and hours that I've sat playing guitar and singing in my room or, out on the back porch, it's really helped me to grow as a person. And I think a lot of times when people have that ability to play an instrument or to sing or to dance or to do any of those kinds of things, it's just something that really can take their life in a different direction. It's really important, and unfortunately, it seems to be one of the last things that people think about. I think that music is really an important thing, and it seems to be such a simple thing. We go through our lives listening to music on the radio or something like that. One of the things in my Irish music especially, when I play specific songs, I can remember where I was. It reminds me of a place. It reminds me of a time. I've got enough history with music to remember back into the 60s and when rock and roll came along and changed everything, some of it good and some of it not good. Music is a very personal thing and really has an impact on people, not only their thoughts and feelings, but also their emotions. It's something that is really important to people, even just people that just listen to music, not only the people that are playing it. This has been One-on-One with Tom Meehan, and this is Tuning Fork TV.